Hey everyone, my name is Julia Gray. I'm an award-winning writer and educator, and if you're looking for writing support and you're looking for ways to build your writing confidence, you know that writing is awesome, you know that it's an important skill, and you're just feeling a little bit overwhelmed by it, then hopefully this video will help you. This video is about, my notes are over here, why writing in one sitting can overwhelm you and how to break it into three manageable stages. So what do I mean by this? Why is it helpful to think of your writing in stages? Sometimes I hear a lot from folks that I work with when they sit down to write, they're thinking that they can just kind of hunker down and like power through and you know that the words are going to fly out of their fingers and everything is going to be fine. And then of course they totally burn out or they get completely overwhelmed and they get frustrated. And I'm here to tell you that that does not have to be the way. You can come to understand the three stages of writing, what I think of as the three stages of writing. And this is going to help you organize your process. It's going to help you organize how you approach your writing so that you can manage your energy, manage your work, manage your technique so that you don't burn out, so you don't get totally overwhelmed. So the first stage is information gathering. What are you writing about? And this really, the information gathering, the research applies to anything that you're writing, whether it's, professional email, something that might seem relatively straightforward, to your next amazing novel. You need to take some time to do some research. And that can be formal research, like it could be scientific, but it also doesn't have to be. If you're writing poetry, for example, your research or information gathering is going to be of a very different kind of quality. But you still have to go through that stage, that kind of exploration, collecting of information, and research. The next stage is the writing itself. And I actually like to think of this more as like writing and analysis. We often think of this stage as just, this is the point where you're sitting down and you're kind of writing everything out. You're actually doing the writing itself. I think of it as a more expansive thing, a much broader kind of approach to analysis. Writing is just one part of that. Writing is analysis in the sense that it's where you're starting to make sense of all of the information. You're starting to think about how is it going to be organized? How is it going to be structured? What's going to make most sense in terms of how the reader is going to engage with this? What's the best way to structure and organize things so that your reader is going to understand? And this is going to look different. The actual way you engage in your analysis and that you approach your writing is going to be slightly different depending on if it's something creative or depending on whether it's something more professional or corporate, etc. It really depends on the form, but there is this stage of analysis. How do I organize? How do I make sense? How do I structure it in such a way that folks are going to engage with this material? And the last stage is feedback. Is this resonating with people? Is it making sense to people? Is it engaging people in the ways that you're hoping it's going to engage people? And again, this is going to apply to really anything that you write. Even something as straightforward seemingly as a professional email. Depending on what it is, depending on the audience, you may want to get feedback on it. At the very least, you want to step away from it for a minute and come back at it with fresh eyes so that you can kind of almost give yourself a little bit of feedback as you reread the thing that you're reading. But definitely if you're engaging in something longer term, like a novel or a play or something creative, you want to be thoughtful around who you invite to provide feedback at different stages in your process. And I say this only because a lot of people, most people don't really know how to give feedback. They know about their own response, but they don't necessarily know how to craft what they're trying to say so that it resonates with you and it's helpful with you. So again, depending on what it is that you're writing, you just want to be thoughtful about who you're inviting to provide that feedback. So now that I've said all of that about the three stages of writing, I know that these stages are not actually quite so linear. It's not like you sit down and you do all of your research and then that stage is done and you're going to sit down and do all of your writing and it's going to be nice and neat. No, it doesn't really work that way in practice, of course, but it can be helpful to think about and understand that there are these three kind of overarching stages, so that when you're in the middle of your writing, and let's say you do become overwhelmed, you've been kind of working on this particular section for a long time and it's starting to feel frustrating and it's starting to feel overwhelming, you can kind of take a break, take a step back and look at these stages and say, okay, where am I at in these three stages? Have I been in the writing stage for a long time? Maybe I need to take a break. Maybe I'm stuck because I need to revisit. I need to kind of go back and revisit the research that I did. Or maybe I'm stuck because I actually need more information. So I have to go back to that research stage so that I can actually collect more information and do a little bit more digging and exploring. Or maybe I'm at this stage, I'm feeling stuck because I actually need to move ahead. I need to, kind of push this up against someone. I need a little bit of feedback. I need some response on this so that I can then go back and continue writing. So you can kind of get a sense, hopefully with my description, that in the ways that, no, the process isn't linear, but that even understanding what those different stages are can potentially help you approach your writing if you start to feel frustrating, and starting to understand where you are in those three different stages can help you figure out what to do next or how to kind of unstick yourself. Thanks very much for watching. Feel free to like this video. Feel free to subscribe. And of course, any comments. I love comments. Love to hear what you think. Love to hear your thoughts on any future videos. Thanks for watching.